The F-16 is perhaps a little unfair for me to review because it's a plane I do have a lot of experience with compared to most of the planes that I'm reviewing being things that I'm reviewing as I use them. But that being said, I'm going to do it anyway because it's my channel and I can do what I want. So here's a little bit about the F-16. This is my favorite plane in real life, and so I'm going to be a little biased towards it. I think it is a masterpiece. In-game, you had a few different variants of the F-16. This guide will relatively cover the F-16s that have Fox 1 radar missiles, um, other than the F-16 OCU and whatever. It doesn't cover any of the top ones, and it doesn't cover the ones that don't have radar missiles, like the F-16A and the F-16A for the French. I'll hopefully be getting into the OCU and stuff later, but for now, this is an excellent fighter if you know how to use it. You have a lot of engine power. You retain enough energy that you will outrate almost any plane in the game, and certainly any plane at your BR. You have access to an EEGS, and you have access to more than enough ammo to make it count. You have access to two very solid radar missiles, but don't use them on targets that have a lot of room to maneuver, as they are capable of outmaneuvering your missile. You get four AIM 9Ls. AIM 9Ls aren't what they used to be, but they're still very strong. Use them at the very edge of the circle on targets that aren't paying as much attention. You'll get some pretty consistent kills because the flares won't be as effective. And if you use them rear aspect, they actually kill pretty well because they usually tend to ignore flares or ride flares. The biggest advice with this plane is do not fight a bunch of people at once. You will beat almost anything at your own BR in a dogfight, and you are able to pretty consistently get long-range radar missile kills. But the second that you try fighting a bunch of planes at once, like you're a Su-27 or something, you're not going to be able to do it. Keep yourself fast, keep your energy, and keep your missile low. Do not waste them because you do only have 6. That being said, gonna put up some gameplay now, and hopefully I do well. I don't actually remember. Alrighty, taken off. It's Afghanistan, which means this match is going to last a total of 37 seconds. That's just kind of how it is. Hoping for at least a few kills, though, because that furball, while chaotic, oftentimes pretty high profile. Just screwing around in my cockpit for a second, because I do love the F-16 cockpit with all of my heart and more. It is truly excellent. Trying to get just a tad closer here. Typically, I don't like using this thing with its radar set to search. I'm more of an ACM guy purely because, for the most part, I don't trust my missiles outside of ACM range anyway. I just don't have a bunch of a reason to use them that far off. And you can see we're already getting radar pings. Just a couple seconds of flying. And that is perfectly fine. I'm just going to play very, very insanely and very close to the ground in the hopes that nothing will be able to get me. Get a few radar locks there. Feel pretty good about that one. Take the shot. And we will see if the missile likes it. The missile seems to be tracking pretty good and takes out the first target. Start to go in for some IR kills and just begin throwing missiles at people. Score a kill, throw out another IR missile, look for gun kill, but do not find it, and then resort to taking the shot with the 9L and just get behind these guys. And 9Ls in rear aspect are still quite strong. Gun, of course, always a hot point for the F-16. You get that crazy maneuverability and a very strong gun. What more could you want? I'm close to the ground to avoid the missiles, but it's just not going to be enough. Overall, insanely good. 3 5 seconds in a match. But only so much you can do there, right? That being said, that is my video on the F16. It's fantastic. It's amazing. You can play cautious with it and you'll do quite well. You can play like that and you'll get a bajillion kills but die very quickly. Let me know your thoughts on it. Let me know any other vehicles you'd like me to test out. Consider joining the Discord, all that shit. Other than that, have a good night.